Hey guys, welcome to a very special episode of Traffic Light Reviews. Today we're going to do things a little differently. Today we're going to do a segment called Personal Best. This is where me and Steven, we give our personal reviews on movies and television shows or any piece of entertainment that is meaningful to us for whatever reason it may be. And we'll use this segment to express that to you guys, and hopefully you guys can give us your opinion on what you think, on what we say. Hopefully you agree. Hopefully, if you don't, that's fine. But today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite films. Now, I have a very short list of movies that are just like my favorite movies of all time. And right there on the top, I have two movies tied for first place. And one of those movies is the movie I'm going to talk to you about right now. And that is Ridley Scott's Gladiator, starring Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix. The movie came out in 2000. It is 20 years old. This year we celebrate the 20th anniversary of its release, so I figured it'd be cool to talk about it right now with you guys. Also because this movie will always and forever have a special place in my heart because of what was going on in my life at the time when I saw it. Now, first and foremost, the film is great. And if you knew the production story around this film, there's no way this movie would have been as good as it was. There's no way this movie would have won Best Picture of the year 2000, and there's no way Russell Crowe would have won Best Actor of the Year. But somehow, it got through production hell, CGI issues, actors passing away. The great Oliver Reed actually died during the making of this film, and this was his last performance before he passed, and they had to figure out a way to continue the movie without him. And they did so, honoring his performance and his legacy beautifully. But the movie holds a special place in my heart because of what was happening at that time. In the year 2000, I was a senior in high school. I was 18 years old. I was looking forward to college and the rest of my life. And this particular year, I was a starter on the volleyball team at my high school, John Adams High, here in Queens, New York. Yep. And 2 years prior, I was on the team, and I never actually started. And I always sat on the bench. And this year, not only was I a starter for the team, but we really came together in a way that the team did not come together in the 2 years prior. We were a bunch of kids who did not really know how to play volleyball well. We had a coach who had never coached volleyball before, and somehow we came together. We weren't the greatest team in the world. We weren't even the greatest team in New York, but we played great together. And for some reason, somehow, whenever we played together, it was magic. And we learned to get along. We learned to work together. We learned to find each other's strengths and use it against our enemy, which is the opposing team. And on this particular day, we were playing one of our rivals, Hillcrest, that's right, and we won the division champion. We won the division championship that year, that day, and we were just so excited. We left the school, we were celebrating. How did we celebrate? We went to the movies. And what did we see? We saw Gladiator. We saw a night showing of this film around like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I can't remember exactly when. But I do know that this was after the movie had been playing for a while in theaters, and there was no one in the theater. So we were the only ones there. And of course we were behaving like idiots, running through the rows, screaming, hollering, having a great time, throwing popcorn, eating popcorn, drinking soda, making jokes. And finally the movie starts. And we get to see this story of this man who happens to be a general in the Roman army. The character of Russell Crowe. His character is Maximus Decimus Meridius. The name is actually based on a general that actually existed. However, his depiction of this particular general is mostly fiction. So, this could have been how it went down. It probably isn't. He plays a man who's fighting in a war that he doesn't want to fight, but he does so to provide for his family. He has a wife and a son at home that he hasn't seen in years. And the only way that he can get to see them is by winning this war for his king, for the emperor, which is Emperor Oh my God, Marcus Aurelius. That's right, Marcus Aurelius. Now, Marcus Aurelius was an actual emperor of Rome, and he did have a son named Commodus, which is played by Joaquin Phoenix. And when the character of Maximus wins the final battle to bring peace to all of Rome, he is chosen by the emperor to be his successor, which is very uncommon because at that time, your successor is usually your firstborn son. And Commodus had been preparing his whole life to be the next emperor of Rome. And when he is not chosen, he not only kills his father, but orders the death of Maximus Decimus Meridius and orders the death of his wife and child. And in a desperate attempt to save his family, the character of Maximus frees himself. He escapes. He tries to get to his family, only to be too late. He finds them hanging in the front of their home, which is not exactly the homecoming a war hero is expecting or deserves, especially a war hero of his caliber, because the character of Maximus was always an honorable man, and he fought with honor. He didn't fight for glory. He didn't fight because he loved killing, but it just happened to be a part of his skill set, something that he was good at. Something else that he was good at was leadership. He had this ability to gain the respect and admiration of the men under his command. And when he is captured, he becomes a slave. And in the film, he's taken from slave and sold into a gladiator arena. And during that time, he earns the respect of the other gladiators. He earns notoriety throughout Rome. And when Commodus starts to open up the Colosseum to Roman games and gladiator games, of course, Maximus Decimus Meridius comes out to fight for Rome and wows the crowd. And everybody is screaming his name. And everyone forgets about the emperor. And of course, this upsets the emperor. Maximus gains control of the crowd, the respect of his peers, and somehow finds himself in front of the emperor in the climax of the film, fighting him to the death, winning, but also losing his life in the process. Throughout the film, he does not wish for glory. He does not wish for any political gain or financial gain. He is simply fighting for revenge. He is simply fighting to honor his wife and child, to avenge his wife and child who have died at the hands of the very government that he fought so hard to preserve. And being an 18-year-old kid, part of a group of other 18-year-old boys who just finished winning a battle, and we empathize with what we saw on the screen. Granted, we weren't killing anybody like they were doing on the screen, but it was so awesome to see these guys come together, and then we just felt good after our win, so we just felt like we were winning while they were winning. And the movie ends beautifully. Spoiler alert. He does kill the villain. He does die. But he gets to go home. He gets to go home to his wife and child. His spirit gets to live on into the afterlife and spend time with them. It's a beautiful thing. The movie went on to win Best Picture of the Year, and Russell Crowe went on to win Best Actor of the Year. Joaquin Phoenix was also nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Did not win, should have won, but he did a great job. So if you ever get a chance, watch it. I know I will. I love this movie, and I love talking about it. I can keep going, but I'm going to stop right now. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Personal Best here at Traffic Light Reviews. I'm Michael Munoz, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.